Let's look at the Sayler, Alexander, and Lewis model of curriculum development. In the early 1970s, there was a lot of social change happening in the United States, and the country was kind of trying to regroup after the civil rights movement in the 1960s and the backlash to the Vietnam War. As a result, there was a move back towards a more progressive and humanistic curriculum. This is because students didn't feel that what they were learning in school was really suited to their needs or preparing them to move out into society at large. So along came Sayler, Alexander, and Lewis. They defined curriculum in terms of the means and ends and give attention to facts, data, and the flow of procedures. The model draws heavy influence from Dewey and Goodland's ideas that through progressive education we can foster growth that's good for the individual and society, and we can prepare students to become productive members of society. This is also similar to the humanistic movement because there is a focus on the individual needs of students and giving attention to what students need to learn to become better citizens. This model is deductive, prescriptive, and linear. So basically, it goes from general to specific when it's identifying instructional objectives. It also suggests what should be done, and the curriculum development has a sequence of steps that proceeds in a straight line, focusing on 4 domains: personal development, social competence, continued learning skills, and specialization. The curriculum development looks at external forces, bases of curriculum, which help determine goals and objectives. It then moves to curriculum design, curriculum implementation, and finally, curriculum evaluation. The external forces include things like legal requirements, data, professional associations, and state guidelines. We can think of these as things that the school or the district doesn't really have control over. Bases of curriculum are influences of things such as society, the learners themselves, and the type of knowledge that they need. The external forces and the bases of curriculum move together to make the goals and objectives. With the goals in hand, then the curriculum designers can start to anticipate the global range of learning opportunities that the student population needs and what the school can provide. With this base, the decisions regarding instruction and teaching strategies are made by the teachers, who can implement them any way they want in the classroom so that it suits their students' needs the best. Finally, the curriculum is evaluated on a formative and assumative basis. So that means the curriculum is evaluated as it's being planned, but then once it's implemented, it's also evaluated so that strengths and weaknesses can be identified and changes can be made. Speaking of strengths, I would like to look at my teaching context, which is English as a foreign language, specifically English for specific purposes. In ESP, instructors develop materials that are directly related to the students' needs or their fields of study. For example, we might have a course in nursing English, not just general English. This curriculum design is suitable because we can look at the students' needs and we can develop courses that make the students more interested in their learning and therefore more engaged and active learners. While this curriculum is suitable for ESP, we need to make sure and pay attention to the students' overall skill development. If we only focus on certain aspects of language, such as vocabulary needed for nursing, we might not develop students' overall sociocultural and linguistic skills, and that would result in them not being able to complete tasks outside of their field in English. Also, we need to make sure and focus on developing 4 skills for students. If they only learn reading or writing, then they're not going to be good communicators. Students need to be able to work in their foreign language using reading, writing, listening, and speaking if they want to be able to move out into the English-speaking world.
created using Powtoon.